The Just for Guys group has been meeting since 2010, serving boys who have difficulty with social interaction. The group includes boys who have ADHD, Asperger's syndrome, and high-functioning autism, as well as others without formal diagnosis. The concept of this group developed over time, but the main ideas came from parents who were worried about their kids' struggles to succeed socially. Another important impetus came from a workshop about how some kids fail to understand nonverbal cues in public, and this could lead to their becoming involved in uncomfortable situations. Finding a way to help boys learn to be safe and independent is one of the most important goals of this group.
The purpose of this group is to provide a low-pressure atmosphere where people can practice social skills. So people who don't ordinarily get that practice or have anxiety or apprehension about social situations can have an atmosphere where they don't feel that pressure. So this environment gives them an opportunity to see that it's fun to interact with other people.
As we all know, as parents of special needs kids, sometimes our kids will not necessarily respond to us the same way they will respond to their peer group or to other adults who are trying to teach them and help mentor them. In a group setting, such as Way to Grow provides, all of a sudden he seems to pay attention, he seems to understand it more, and he seems to apply it to his life. So that is one of the reasons, one of the many reasons why I wanted him to go. I also wanted him to have the opportunity, as I said before, to interact in a safe environment with peers of his own group where he felt accepted, where there was absolutely no potential to be teased or mocked or made fun of.
We do all sorts of stuff. If it's something that teenage guys enjoy doing or young guys enjoy doing, then we'll probably try it. Here at the Grange, as long as everybody's having a good time and interacting with each other, that's all that matters. I want to teach you guys the importance of contributing to your community, and even when you're not getting a paycheck, there's a feeling that you get from making a positive difference in other people's lives. And I want to make sure that you get that experience now while you're young. So even when you're older and you're trying to get that paycheck, you'll know, well, if I don't get that feeling, then the job's not worth it.
It's really great to have you seniors in the group. You are role models to a lot of these guys, and we really appreciate your effort and your understanding. And just even if you're playing a simple game of chess with some of the younger guys, or if you're out throwing a frisbee with them, or they really look up to you. They really see that, because a lot of these guys are really struggling in school and struggling with social lives, and they see you guys, and you guys are success stories to them. Like you're doing well in high school. That's like unheard of for them. Peer mentors are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I would like to say that I think they do a darn good job.
A lot of psychologists or therapists will take the approach of providing kind of a clinical environment where we say, okay, you have trouble with this skill, and so we're going to do these exercises in order to make you better at it, which I believe when a kid is targeted by that approach, they get it in their head that there's something wrong with them that needs to be fixed. I think it's very important not to take an approach like that sends that kind of a message, because I don't think that there's anything wrong with these kids. It's just that they interact in a different way than other people. The way that we approach it is to give them an environment where they can take the skills and the abilities that they already have, the positive things about them, and use them in a positive and fun way to practice the social interaction. It's most important to lead by example. You cannot say, do what I say and not what I do. If I want these guys to be good guys, then I have to be a good guy myself. I can't give a lesson or have a conversation about treating others respectfully if I'm not going to treat others respectfully myself.
Adam is very gifted. He creates situations for conflict to arise, whether it be playing games or whether it be going to the park or playing sports. He creates learning opportunities, and then as situations arise, he allows them to develop on their own, and then he'll step in and kind of direct them in the way he wants and create these teaching experiences. And I've really had the privilege of learning this from him and seeing how this method can be really effective. especially when teaching social skills. Because the one thing you have to be careful with teaching with social skills is you don't want it to be too structured, too much like school. If it feels like school, it's not as effective because it doesn't feel real. Whereas if you kind of go with the flow, situations arise naturally, conflict arises naturally, and you feel more. We've started off our meetings talking about different concepts, whether it's talking about the future, whether it's talking about bullying, whether it's talking about how to deal with social situations that are unfamiliar or difficult. The best way to teach is to put oneself into the situation, a social situation, whether it's talking or interacting. We are very intentional when we see someone go off on their own, or when we see someone playing by themselves. We're very intentional about going over and trying to interact with that person and get that person to come back to the group. This is a group, and it's very important to remember that we're a group.
My son's been coming to the group for a couple of years, and he really enjoys it. I think it's been, to be honest, one of the best things in his life for the past couple of years. It's a place where he feels safe, where he can feel acceptance among his peers, where he can learn how to deal with other kids and how to function in an environment that sometimes is not as friendly maybe to special needs kids as we would like, but it gives him a safe environment where he can make friends, learn about topics that perhaps don't come as naturally to him as they do to other kids in his peer group. He absolutely loves coming to the program every week, to the group, and to be honest with you, it's one of the things on our agenda that he knows about and that he's always saying, okay, don't forget, Mom, tomorrow's group meeting, we got to get there. So it's far exceeded my expectations in so many ways, and I'm so thankful that a group is like this in our area. To be honest, it actually has affected our whole family in a positive way. He talks more and socializes more even within our own family unit, and I directly attribute that to all of the help and effort and encouragement that he's received from the support group for Just for Guys.
The main complaint that I had from a number of parents when their kids came to this group was, my son doesn't have any friends. And I can say for sure that they all have friends now, at least within the group. Many of them have also branched out and developed friendships outside of the group using the skills that they've been practicing here. But pretty much as soon as we started meeting, I started noticing that they wouldn't just meet here and hang out here, but they would also get together afterward and have sleepovers or come over to each other's house and play video games or go bowling and that sort of thing. So they started taking the initiative to want to hang out with each other, which they were not doing before. Over time, I've seen changes in people's social habits. I see more eye contact. I see passion in the way that somebody comes up to me and shakes my hand and gives me a smack on the back. And I see a presence that I didn't see when these guys first joined the group. They think about things in a different way when they first joined. So yeah, it helps in different ways for different people.
As adults, we can remember times when we felt like on the outside, that we weren't part of a group. I think that feeling is much stronger within children who have special needs and those who are on the autism spectrum. And I think that one of the best things that my son has pulled away from this is that he is part of something that's bigger than who he is and greater than who he is. And this group of kids, maybe individually they have some issues that they need to work on, but together they're stronger. Together they support each other. Together they learn how to be each other's encouragement and help find answers if one kid is struggling with something. Perhaps the greatest thing, or the most positive, is the feeling that they get from being part of a special group that's just about them. As we know as adults, we all want to be loved and to love.
you.